All right, well, boys and girls, you've worked super hard today. I'm so proud of how hard you're working on your reader and your phonics. Today I want to move on and look some more at our clocks. I know it's been a while, but oftentimes when you do your paper, your math paper, you will see some clocks on there. So I just want to make sure you still remember our clocks. Remember, our clocks are for telling time, and we have different kinds of clocks. I know Mom and Dad might have like a clock on the microwave, alarm clock, on our watch, on our wrist sometimes we wear a watch, on our phones we have the time, but this is the clock that we're looking at. And if you remember, telling time has the hour and the minute hand. And when we were telling time to the hour, that one was pretty simple, wasn't it? 10 o'clock, we didn't even move the minute or the hour hand. When I moved the hour hand here, 8 o'clock, the minute hand stayed. Do you remember these? 6 o'clock, good job. Whoops, 4 o'clock, 2, even when you couldn't see it, remember, 12 o'clock. And then, boys and girls, we start moving the minute hand, and when we do that, of course, and the hour hand, they both move. So this was 11 o'clock, right? But as soon as this starts moving, everything moves. And we counted 5, whoops, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, boys and girls. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Remember, we're counting by fives. And now, when you look at this, you see 11:30. All right, let me turn it so that I can do it and count with you. It's a little easier. All right, this was 10 o'clock. The minute hand's going to move, so the hour hand will move. It's not going to stay exactly on the 10. It's going to go a little bit past. Remember, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And now we would say it's 10:30. It's not exactly on the 10. I know that gets a little confusing when it moves a little bit. All right? But Mom and Dad, that just takes a lot of practice and review. And the same thing, boys and girls, if it would have stopped 5, 10, 15, 10, 15. So 10 o'clock, 10, 15, 10:30. All right, and we're going to do a little matching game today in case you had kind of forgotten your clocks and telling time. On my matching game today, it is a watch. So it's called, can you say, watch out? Watch out. Look at those watches. All right. Do you have a watch? Give me a thumbs up. Do you have a watch? I don't have mine on today, but I usually have a watch on. All right. So when you look at these, you have to look to see what time it is. I know that might be a little hard, but if you can look, I'll put it up there really close. Can you see what time that is, boys and girls? The hour hand's on the 1. The minute hand's on the 12, so we would say what? 1 o'clock. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to find the watch that says 1 dot dot. Remember, 0 0 means o'clock. And it says 1 o'clock. All right, good job. Let's try another one. Try to get it close by. Now, the hour hand has moved. The minute hand is down here at the bottom. So when we look at that, we would say, can you see? I know it's a little hard on the video, but it would be, hopefully you're saying, 7:30. And a 7, and remember the dot dot still stayed, but now instead of 0 0, it's a 30. So let me get that on there, 7:30. So say this with me, 1 o'clock, 7:30. All right, and if I use my pretend clock here, there's 7:30. It might not be exactly on the 7. It's going to be a little bit back to the side. All right, watch it. We got to match these up. Let's match up. What do we got? Oh, let's see. Minute hand's on the 12. The hour hand, what time is that? Should be saying 3 o'clock. Right down here, 3 dot dot 0 0 o'clock. Awesome. All right, you guys are really good at telling time. Let's take a look at this one. Minute hand, hour hand. Can you see what that is? It's a little bit past the 4. I know that might be a little tough to see, but we would say 4:30. The minute hand's at the bottom. Can you say that with me? 4:30. Good job. All right, minute hand is on the 12. The hour hand is on the 5. These were the simple ones we did. Gosh, we did this before Christmas, boys and girls. What time is that? 5 o'clock. Very good. There's my 5. 00 means o'clock. There's my 5 o'clock. Good job. All right, you guys are good at these. Let's try another one. The hour hand's a little bit past the 6. The minute hand is on the 6. It's at the bottom. You see that? All right, we would call that 6:30. So 6:30. Can you say that with me? 6:30. All right, here's another one. The hour hand is on the 9. The minute hand's on the 12. 9 o'clock. Now they made a fancy 9. That's okay. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. All right, another one. Hour hand's on the 8. The minute hand's on the 12. What time is that, boys and girls? All right, you should be saying 8 o'clock. Good job. 8 o'clock. Let me turn that a little bit. Let's try another one. Hour hand's a little bit after the 3. The minute hand is down on the 6, and we would call that, do you know what that would be, boys and girls? All right, 3:30. Very good, 3:30. All right, let's see. My last little piece lost this little piece of tape on it. We've got one more to match up. You guys have done a really good job. Here it is, the minute hand, the hour hand. Can you see that is? I know it's hard on the video, but it's a little bit after 11. So look what's left. 11:30. Good job. All right, it said watch out, and we sure did. Let's say these times together. 6:30. Can you say these with me? 1 o'clock. 4:30. 11:30. 9 o'clock. Good job. 3 o'clock. 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock. 3:30 and 7:30. All right, good job. Now, Mom and Dad, that just takes a lot of practice. Using real clocks around the house are probably the best practice for that. And just keep reviewing that, especially that half past time. All right. Well, boys and girls, today on page 133, 134, you do have a math page today. Of course, first and last name at the top like we always do. On the butterflies, it says have your teacher give a math problem and you write the answer. So Mom and Dad, you can pick something there for them to write. An addition or subtraction problem would be fine, and they can write the answer. Make sure no backward numbers. Whatever you'd like to do is fine. Our clocks that we talked about, but the difference is, boys and girls, look at that. They forgot the minute hand. The minute hand is the long hand. Remember, minute hand, this is the hour hand, it's the short one. They forgot it. So you're going to have to draw it on there to match a 7 o'clock, a 7:15, and a 7:30. Just use your pencil. You don't have to worry about it being red. Just a long hand so that I can tell, because when we look at our clock, remember, our minute hand is longer. Look at that. When I look at that, it's longer than the hour hand. That's how I remember that. Minute is longer than the hour. All right, I know that can get a little confusing. There's a story problem. Mom or Dad can read, or you can read out some of the words on it. Delicious looking ice cream cone. How much is that ice cream cone? 80 cents. You're going to have to figure out how much money, how many of these coins make 80. Now remember, these are what? These are dimes. Dimes you count by tens. Remember to count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Circle how many that would make 80. Dimes are worth 10. Don't forget that. You got to look at those carefully. And then be careful. Add or subtract. Now, Mom and Dad, if it helps and they need to circle the subtraction somehow, just make sure their brain is seeing that there's adding and subtraction. So your brain's going to join together and it's going to take away. But you guys have been doing this a lot, so I know you'll do fine. Again, make sure there's no backward numbers. And at the bottom, number words and shapes. We haven't talked about our shapes in a while, boys and girls, but I know you'll remember. Say those shapes with me. Star, circle, rectangle, triangle, oval, square. Now remember, oval can be this way or this way. Don't let that confuse you, oval. So what you're going to do is read the number word, tricky word. You can sound it out, tricky, tricky, tricky. You can sound it out. And then you have to draw. So you're going to read this tricky word, which is what? Tricky word 4. And then it tells you to draw for what? The picture clue is star. So you would draw 4 stars. And just do the best you can on those shapes. That's fine. We haven't talked about our shapes in a while, but I know you remember these shapes, all right? And then the number word, of course, you can read also, all right? So great job on your clocks today. Remember always to be practicing those so that you do your best. Work on your math. Make sure you put first and last name at the top and double check those backward numbers and be sure add or subtract. All right, great job today, boys and girls. Give yourself 3 big pats on the back. 1, 2, 3. So proud of you. Keep up the great work.